El Loco slaps. Let's dive in. El Loco, which translated to English means the crazy, is an indoor roller coaster located at the Adventuredome, which is located in the Circus Hotel and Casino, which is located on the north end of the Las Vegas Strip, which is located in southern Nevada, which is located in... You get the point. The Crazy is one of two coasters in the Adventuredome, but it is easily my favorite. In typical review fashion, let's look at what makes it so good. Going right into it, the Crazy has amazing restraints. Unlike some other S&S El Locos which have elaborate and unnecessary over-the-shoulder pad things, the Crazy simply has one lap bar that is very comfortable and very easy to get room with, which will come into play later. You'll walk into the station and pick one of 4 rows, which may confuse you since the cars in this coaster only have 2 rows, but it's because the Crazy has a dual-load station, much like Maverick at Cedar Point. The front car will dispatch with the back car, but only the front car will continue up onto the lift hill, while the back car waits just outside the station. It's a very cool system in my opinion, and it did seem to help with capacity quite a bit. Once the car you're in does get going up the lift hill, you'll quickly realize that this lift hill is rough. Not like the track is rough, but the chain never really settles into one speed. It kinda tugs you a little bit, and then chills out for a little bit, and then yanks you for a little bit, and then chills out, and then you're at the top because this lift hill is really fast. This honestly may be the only lift hill I've ever ridden that has airtime. Just weak floater, but it's definitely there. Following the lift is a small drop into a tight, rising, unbanked turn. This turn hits you with your first dose of laterals, and it's actually really fun. The track straightens out and continues rising for just a little bit before you plummet into the 90-ish foot, 90-degree drop. If that didn't stand out to you, it should. The general drop rule of thumb is that if the drop is steeper and shorter, then it will be more powerful. And much like Maverick, this drop delivers. In the front or the back, you will get absolutely yanked out of your seat, and if you have the room that is so easy to get, you will notice every bit of it. I wasn't expecting this tiny K'NEX looking coaster to have one of my favorite drops, but it easily does, and I love it. After this mental drop, the car will pull up into a midcourse via a rising unbanked turn, which, much like the turn after the lift hill, has fantastic laterals. There is a tiny pop of floater at the top of this turn in the front row, but it's not super noticeable because of the crazy laterals that are already doing their best to toss you out. This turn will send you into the first midcourse, which may make the more enthusiast of you scream, but it literally does nothing and is only there so that the train waiting outside the station can start the ride. The midcourse will drive tire you into a really weird but also really fun element, which is just a little outer bank turn. I wasn't expecting this part of the ride to do a lot, but shockingly this turn was full of laterals and even a weird hang time, air time sensation. It was great. Once the 180-degree turn is complete, the track banks the opposite way into another 180-degree turn, which will finish by flipping you upside down into something that I'm not sure what to call. Dive loop? Stall? Who knows. Regardless, it is fun and offers some good hang time. However, this is where I noticed my first complaint with the Crazy. As you get flipped upside down, the track gets noticeably rougher to a point that I'd almost call it jackhammering. It doesn't hurt at all because you're going so slow, but it was very strange since the ride was almost butter smooth up to this point. If roughness is something that bothers you, it is a lot better in the front, but in the back, just prepare to brace yourself a little bit. Pulling out of the dive loop continues the theme of being just a little rougher than before, which is strange, but again, doesn't really bother me. This valley sends the car up into one last unbanked turn, which sadly, unlike the other ones, moves way too slow to get many laterals. In fact, it moves so slow that when you hit the midcourse, I'm pretty sure the drive tires speed the train up. It's not noticeable at all on the ride, but I'm 99% sure I saw it happen off-ride. This, launch of sorts sends you into another little outer bank element, but this one doesn't turn at all. It's a little less exciting than the first one to me, but it still has some laterals to it, and it leads straight into my second favorite part of the ride, the final dive loop. This dive loop stall thing has absolutely insane hang time, and holds you there with all of your weight on your restraint, which, may not be a good thing because mine sorta kinda came up a click on my last ride, but oh well, I'm sure it's fine. Overall, El Loco has a fantastic layout, especially for the tiny space it was squeezed into. I love the way they strayed away from the traditional El Loco layout. I haven't ridden any of those ones, but to me this layout looks a little more interesting. With one of the best airtime moments I've experienced, some of the best laterals I've done, and my favorite hangtime moment thus far, El Loco is an extremely well-rounded coaster, especially considering how short it is and the fact that it's located in a freaking hotel. Where many indoor coasters have to focus on one thing, El Loco checks off all the boxes, and I love it. It lands itself solidly within my top 25, which will be a video coming soon, by the way. That's the crazy, and if you couldn't tell, I really enjoyed my 4 rides on this coaster. Was it worth the $60 price of admission into the Adventuredome? Well, maybe not all questions need answers sometimes. I rate El Loco a very enjoyable out of 10. Thanks for watching.